and boom goes the dynamite.
Hello and welcome to day 2 of season 2. On a late start here. This is still the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show. This is Daily Dive. I am your host, as always, Michael Carbellis. Thanks so much for tuning in, even at this odd hour. I mean, last year we were doing noon. Yesterday we were supposed to do 1, and today we're supposed to do 1. And yesterday we did that, and today it's whatever. We're still getting back in the groove of things. If you missed yesterday's show, we had a logo announcement. We also had Steven Stamp, the NLL draft guru, come on the show and provide some great insight. And I highly recommend that you check that out. I will probably clip up the interview today for you to just watch the interview if you don't feel like watching through the show and me talking. We also talked about how the Rush have a new logo from the offseason, and of course the mascot. I got word that the mascot's name is Rowdy and not Horny. So I was correct in my assumptions. The internet, which is what the Rush did for social media purposes, the internet wanted Horny, and the fans wanted Rowdy. And like I told you guys, it's a family event. There was no way Horny was going to win. Although, to be fair, if you put that on the list and it wins in a landslide, you should stick to your word. But whatever, it's a fun little promotion. They're liars. We also talked about Dyson Williams and how the draft was not broadcast, even though he's a generational talent. But it still was a big moment for him and his family, for him to go there. We will have to wait, of course, a year for Albany to see Dyson Williams and for really us to see Dyson Williams. And we talked about how Saskatchewan Rush added Patrick Dodds, but I kind of teased it a little bit because I thought I'd talk more about that today. Also, no more conferences was a thing in the offseason that I thought took the pudding and the cake. And so I feel like that was the biggest story of the offseason, and that's why we had that on our segment yesterday. So, reminder to go to the link tree in our bio at Daily Dive Lax, that's Daily Dive LAX, if you're new to the lacrosse game, and click our store. Remember, with a new logo comes new merchandise. Make sure to buy the old merchandise before it's gone. I may keep it up there, I may not. I'll ask producer Joe his thoughts on that. Probably should have asked before the show started, but who cares? We're very impromptu thinkers here. But go to the link tree in our bios on Daily Dive Lax. Subscribe to the YouTube. Check out the affiliate links. You know what it is. You love it. You love this NLL talk show. Okay. Let's first get into the latest news in the NLL, and then, of course, comes with the Albany Firewolves. So the Firewolves, of course, were devoid of offense and really just everything last season, finishing obviously good enough to get the number 1 draft pick. The Firewolves, as of yesterday, November the 1st was this transaction on the NLL website, placed 25-year-old forward Charlie Kitchen on the active roster from the injured reserve. Now, Charlie Kitchen scored 22 points 2 years ago, and in just 5 games last year had only 5 points. So obviously he's got some growing to do. The guy's injured, so it's good that he's back now. Obviously, Firewolves could use another young guy to just come in there and provide a spark. Who knows? He could be a very good player. I don't know much about him, if at all. I'm sure Steven Stamp does, but I didn't ask him about that yesterday. So Charlie Kitchen is, of course, the news that pops up today. In news that may or may not concern you guys, the Rochester Nighthawks released a player, and that was Carter Schott. They released him from the active roster. Not sure if he was placed on anything else, but from the active roster at least is the news that the website was able to provide us. So there you go. I say these things because some people don't check that every day, and I try to stay up to date with the latest happenings in the National Lacrosse League. So lacrosse, the NLL obviously adding the no more conferences. Brett Fruit obviously was probably part of that, as he's trying to get sponsors and attract sponsors, as I mentioned yesterday on season 2 debut. But another big deal in the offseason came very recently, actually, was that lacrosse is one of like 6 or 7 sports added to the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. It's a long ways away. I'll admit I'm not a I wish it was sooner. I mean, it'd be cool if it was next year. We gotta wait 4 or 5 more years. So I wanted to get to this story on the league's website about this thing called Elevate 28. Interesting. Now, this timing, of course, obviously it comes from the lacrosse being at the Olympics in the first place. But on October 31st, the NLL joined representatives from a bunch of different associations and Josai Sports and the Premier Lacrosse League, which is big, that they were actually in the same room together. I don't know if they threw food at each other, but I'm just wondering. Under the banner Elevate 28, all parties are committed to doubling participation in the sports with a focus on the youth level. Now, I want to first get that out of the way here. I know it's in 4 years, and I'm not sure if the number 28 has anything to do with the Olympics, but I'm pretty sure it does. And so my only gripe with that is, why did we wait so long? Maybe it's just a little wake-up call that, hey, oh my God, this sport's actually growing for the first time. And as I mentioned on yesterday's show, I feel like the term grow the game is getting very old at this point. It's getting like to the point where it's not a real movement that actually wants change. It's more like a brand. And how many years are we going to say grow the game? Like, you either act to do so, or you sit back and hope it does it itself. So I hope that this can be part of a big deal. It says by the time the 2028 Summer Olympics arrive, which is the wind behind the sails of this initiative, which is what I said, the goal is to have up to 4 million annual participants in lacrosse. I'm guessing it's around less than 2 million right now. I would love to think that would happen. I really do. And I don't like to be Mr. Negative Michael on the show. I feel like there are times where I like to have fun, but there are times where we have to face reality of things. This is long overdue, first of all. The fact that you have the Premier Lacrosse League and the National Lacrosse League in the same room is pretty hysterical. Or Premier League, whatever they call it. I want to believe this can be possible. I want to believe that things can, work out for the better, and in 4 years we double it. But I have a strange feeling we're not going to get to that number by any means. I don't know if we're even going to touch that number. I think hopefully we'll touch 3 million. But I told you guys to scour social media and look at the word lacrosse. Why don't I do that here for you guys on this? And I just want to see what the latest stuff is. Because last time I did this, it wasn't as wonderful as you think it is. Because people see the PLL and in America, and that's what they see, that's what they're exposed to, and box lacrosse is just a better game. So I don't see much going on with lacrosse. I do give credit. I do give a lot of credit to NLL Twitter and just lacrosse Twitter in general for stepping up in the last few years. When the last year since we've been on, I feel like we helped that. There's nothing there. Fans are not talking about it, okay? And there are a lot of young people on Twitter/X, and I feel like if the sport was going to double, there's a long ways away from this. I don't know. And it says doubling participation in the game is a lofty goal, but a realistic one. This is a hell of a statement. If all members stay committed to the process and the long-term goal. Come on, man. Come on. And I love this line from the CEO of USC Lacrosse, Mark Riccio, who said, individually we can progress, but together we can make change. Coughs in Paul Rabel. I mean, honestly, maybe I'm wrong. I didn't hear anything from the PLL about this, maybe because I didn't look, but I hear all these nice things, and I want this to happen. It'd be cool if you get sticks in hands and give people lacrosse nets. Chances are it will not happen. And the fact you even have to say that in there, I'm not talking about the person who wrote the article. I believe it's Adam Levy. Yeah, so Adam does his job well. I just want to know what, like, how, like, why does that even have to be in there? Because the fact that because people are butting heads in the world, it is new generations versus the olds, and unfortunately, that holds the game back sometimes. Like, some of the guys are like, "Oh, well, we're stuck in our ways," without saying that, and it's like, well, then that's a problem. But then, of course, you've got the PLL, who they're putting fights on their social media page, and I don't know if some of the people like that, but there's a way to coexist. But here's the problem: the one that's popular right now, the PLL, who's got the lucrative ESPN contract, that's what people see. And I will say it time and time again. I don't care if there is a little bit of a niche group on Twitter, on social media, should I say, that likes Field Lacrosse. It's not better. It's just not. Field Lacrosse would be like baseball without steroids and without a pitch clock, okay? Yeah, it's America's pastime, but people don't care anymore. Field Lacrosse it's not fun. And I know I'm going to get hate from this saying this, but it's like Paul Rabel has put this product out there for the United States people to see, and I have not seen them care. Like, you can say, well, they're growing in all these numbers. That's fantastic. The NFL put out something last year that they had 1 million fans. Well, they had how many were fans in attendance? It's like, come on, guys. Really? What are we doing here? When we knew dang well the attendance numbers were skewed. I just want this to work. And the part of me that loves lacrosse and knows the game, like, can be big, part of my brain is like, oh yeah, this is going to work. The other part of my brain is like, cool. I'll believe it when I see it. And to me, in my opinion, you need people like this in the space, because we have so many pat guys on the back, just be all nice to everybody, and that works for a time. But you want to grow the game. You want to stop saying that term. I don't like saying that term because it's repetitive. Okay, grow the game, grow the game. Oh, we're going to grow the game. Shut up. How about that for a change? How about do it for a change? How about coexist together for a change? Like, remember when Steven Stamp yesterday was talking about there's no direct affiliate for minors in National Lacrosse League? How about that whole thing that they supported where, like, the San Diego team, and like they were playing like some box lacrosse college championship? That was a big deal on the website, and none of those guys got drafted very high. It's like, that's a problem. There's so many different moving parts, and we want this one goal, but we're all out here. And that just cannot happen. I'm not saying to do away with Field Lacrosse. I'm saying Paul Rabel, and even the NLL for that. NLL's going to do a better job promoting their product, point blank, period. And the PLL has to do a better job of not alienating the crap out of the box game. Like, I think it is a big deal that Lyle Thompson did not show up for the PLL this year, and then decided to go play for Six Nations and dominate to a championship. I think that is a thing. You can family me all you want to, and I of course I believe that part, but it's like, we have to coexist at some point. And the fact this article even mentions that shows you it's still an issue. More on this. I believe Gary Gate is involved. He said box is very unique. It's growing rapidly. I hope let me listen to this. I hope this is Gary freaking Gate. I hope there's a target to grow box lacrosse, because it's such a wonderful game to develop your skills. Come on, man. You got Gary Gate, an incredible historical figure in the National Lacrosse League, and I sure hope there's a plan. Makes me feel good and stuff. Don't you get that warm, fuzzy feeling that we're going to make it? Come on. I think we will for other reasons, but I don't think Elevate 28 is it. And I know they're pimping this out as some historical, wonderful thing. I'd love to believe you. I just don't see it. When I come back, those new look Saskatchewan Rush have more than just a logo and a funnily named mascot. Or should I'm gonna call the guy horny? I'll be honest. I'm gonna call him horny. There. Period. But we're gonna talk about not just Rowdy, but did Derek Keenan fulfill his message? We'll talk about that on the other side of Daily Dive. Don't go anywhere, guys. Well, guys, it's time to gear up for the new National Lacrosse League season, and I hope to living God that Fanatics will update their website, or at least the NLL will update the stuff on the website. But anyways, when that time does come, please be soon. Like, they only have the Rush logo updated, like, whatever. But you're going to want the best apparel when it comes, so go to our link tree in our bio at Daily Dive Lax and click the Fanatics affiliate link. And there, when you purchase anything from any league, but mostly the National Lacrosse League, we get credit for it. And of course, it helps out grow this sport, grow this show tremendously. See, we can say grow the show because this is our second season. Come on, man. We got to stop saying grow the game, man. Eventually, it's either going to grow or it's not. All right. New look Saskatchewan Rush. And if you'll remember on yesterday's show, I told you guys about the about the mascot name and about the logo that kind of looks cool, but it may have to grow on me a little bit. Well, Derek Keenan, the Rush GM, remember him when he told people I need the Rush fans to trust me one more time? Well, he gave you a new logo, gave you a new mascot, named the mascot Rowdy over Horny, unfortunately, and also made some big trades. One of them was saying toodles to Mark Matthews, who's now at the Toronto Rock, which I'll get to tomorrow. The other one was acquiring one of Panther City's young studs from Fort Worth, Texas area. We're talking Patrick Dodds. Yeah, we're talking 6'3" forward Patrick Dodds, who had 50 points last season with 22 points, 28 assists, respectively. And by the way, also had 56 loosies because he's a hustler. Again, it's just 22 years old. And by the way, one thing I will push back on for the Saskatchewan Rush. He had 84 points in his rookie season. Is this a scenario where they added more guys like Callum Crawford and they had a Jonathan Donville? Or is this more like the Panther City Lacrosse Club knows exactly what they're doing? I'd like to believe that Derek Keenan knows what he's doing and that, you just need to give Patrick Dodds more opportunities. But there might just be a reason why Panther City decided to limit his usage. I see limits. I use that term lightly. But 50 points is not 84 points. That's just the cold facts of it. And they end up making the playoffs last season. As much as, again, I want to believe that Derek Keenan knows what he's doing, and I think he does, Panther City has shown they have a very smart organization. They don't know how to get 5 fans inside of a building, but I'll tell you what, they sure know dang well how to A, design an arena, B, design a uniform, and C, they know talents and how to make the playoffs in their second season of inception. So, again, Panther City obviously overachieved last year. I know Callum Crawford will probably kill me for saying that, but I mean, they overachieved last year. But why would they just get rid of Patrick Dodds if he was that guy? Remember Maggie Hale, Panther City reporter, was like, hey, trust that Patrick Dodds is a good game. I mean, again, 84 to 50 is a major drop. And the guy goes from year one to year two. It's not like he was injured. He played one more game this past season and still had 34 less points. That's an issue. And so, while I do think the Rush, I believe, should be better, there's some pushback from me because it is a new regime. This might be, I hate to say it, another rebuild year. You're gonna have you're gonna have guys on this team that you're gonna hope are gonna be really good. I know I liked their rookie last year. I don't know why I forgot his name. The rookie last year, Austin Madronic was good. I think they still have Bobby Kidd III. Reese Dutch, who joined the team late, retired. Do you even know who their goalie is? Didn't they trade for Frank Chiliano? And they had the rookie Lane Rushka, released Alex Bouquet, I think, released Eric Penny. I mean, the Saskatchewan Rush, they brand new squad for the brand new logo. I think Rush are going to have another high draft pick. I really want to think Patrick Dodds moves the needle for me, and he might. But I don't know if it's that much. Because goalie play is huge. Goalie play is absolutely huge in the National Lacrosse League. And when you don't have it, you can struggle very early and very often. I do think having a 6'3", 22-year-old is good for the brand. But I think they still need another draft and another offseason to figure this thing out. Got to get a goalie. I just don't think anybody they have on the roster is that guy. Could be Lane Rushka. They said, now we need Frank Chiliano instead. Oh, well, okay then. Wasn't that the guy who got benched for Chris Ruglieri? I'm not saying Ruglieri isn't good, but he wasn't too good in the game against the Mammoth, was he? When the Seals gagged. So, I mean, yeah, I think Rush are one of the bottom teams. The Lax Mag had a post where it was pick your 8 best teams, and I'll give you my 1 through 15 before the season starts. I'll rank them 1 through 15. Little sneak peek there. But I don't think the Rush are going to be very high. They might make number 10. Do I think at this point in time they make the playoffs? No. Especially in a league with no conferences? Yeah, no. Sorry. I can see Panther City. I'll name some of the ones off the top. Panther City, Toronto Rock. You're going to have the Seals. You're going to have the Roughnecks possibly still, because I don't know if Kurt Malofsky means that much because he's still Delbianco. Going to have the Bandits. That's 5. That's already 5 right there. I don't even. I mean, are the Desert Dogs going to be better than the Rush? I mean, that's an honest question. People don't want to hear that, but are the Desert Dogs going to be better than the Rush? Are the new look Vancouver Warriors going to be better? We don't know. I probably will have a better feeling of this by the time the season starts, but that's a month away. We got time to talk. And thankfully, you had time to listen today. Because I'll be honest, I mean, I messed up the first part of the show because I wasn't here until 2:30. But you were. And that makes a lot of sense to me. Just remember, we're not going anywhere. We're going to make this thing thrive. There is a new logo coming. I'll tell you on the date. We're going to announce that later on. But just know it's on Twitter bio. I probably have to update the Instagram too. But we're doing great stuff here. I promise you, you will not want to miss what we have in store. There's more announcements to come, as I promise you guys, but we're just getting our feet wet for now in this hype up month, if you will. That's what me and producer Joe were going to call it. Things happen in life, you know. But hey, shout out to producer Joe, who's been awesome so far. Helped me get ideas for this show. Helped me implement new things. And I think we're going to have a good time this year. But I'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern this time. I will not be late this time. I promise you on that one. This has been Daily Dive, still the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show. So I appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow Thanks again for watching. Bye.